Uh, there was a topic that
Yes,
you
man.
wanted.
Two
Oh, yeah.
sages, two ladies.
Oh yeah.
There's a topic that you want to talk about, but me and Nick had talked about it on a late night show. Art Browse.
Yeah.
For those who don't remember Art Browse, he was a coach at Baylor. Actually, was having that team, high potent offense. Every now and then, opportunistic defense, but kind of coached him out the dumps. RG3 was probably one of his highly drafted players. 2016 got fired because he failed to report, many sexual assault allegations that were against players. Many.
Many.
No, yeah, many. I don't have the exact
Joe
number,
Paterno.
but pretty much it was almost that same situation, and Title IX had to get involved.
Backer.
So Art Browse gets fired. He reappeared in some high school circuit. He was coaching high school somewhere. I can't remember for a couple of years. Stepped down again. And then you get Hue Jackson, goes to Grambling State, gets hired at an HBCU. And this is his offensive coordinator. I wish we could have had the clip on here, but I pretty much played the 4-minute interview, and then he got interviewed on down in Louisiana.
Browse
Art Browse.
Okay.
And
he was like what them little boys say.
Well, no. to needless to say, I'd say you guys go look it up, but he didn't look like he
had any remorse or anything.
No remorse. No,
he looked like he looked shifty.
No idea of what he did wrong. Didn't want to admit guilt. I don't know if that was because of legal reasons. I don't know if that was he's not trying to, deal with any kind of ramifications if he sits there and admits something online in on an interview. Here's my thought, brother. Hue Jackson, you trying to restore prestigiousness to an HBCU.
Right.
Grambling's been one of those well-known HBCUs.
Right.
And, football program has kind of been up and down. And you want to bring, what Dion is doing in Jackson State.
Right.
Eddie George is doing in Tennessee State. You want to bring that to Grambling. A well-known name that has landed in the NFL, had those connections. And so you want to hopefully build that pipeline to the NFL, teach these guys what it takes to get to the NFL.
Right.
But this?
Yeah, bro. So here's my thing. There's a few things that came to mind when I saw this.
Lay them out, brother. Number one,
I want to start with the comments I saw where people were saying, this HBCU, why would you hire a white guy? I think that's irrelevant to the story.
I think that is irrelevant.
Here's my thing. I'm going to say this.
Add 2 words to that.
What's that?
Why would you hire a white guy with character issues?
Right, but most
different.
people,
if you have a clean slate, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Character issues is the
right. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
I think when it comes to restoring or bringing HBCUs to a level where people see them at the same level as PWIs, and that's a whole other argument, whole other discussion. But for the sake of this argument, you have to bring the best to bring it up. To me, winning is more important than that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to bring it to a winning and a higher standard. I think that's more important than worrying about having a white guy on your staff. Now, I will say, I would like you to look at African-American Black candidate and give them a chance. But if there's someone that is, you still hire the best person. Let me say that. Whether they're Black, white, Chinese, whatever. You hire the best person.
Agreed.
Because the overall thing is you want to put the best product out there. So I just wanted to address that part first.
Okay.
Second of all, we just got through looking at this down in Jacksonville.
Oh, with Urban Meyer.
How do you just recently see that? Saw the backlash, and do you go and do the same thing? It's like when I was coming up, and when crack first hit the streets, no one knew about crack. So it just took people by surprise. after I start seeing the zombies walking around, I'm not smoking crack. I see what it does to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. You know what I'm saying?
Don't smoke crack.
Right.
Like
Leave it alone. This is your
Like
brain.
LT and the Water Boy.
Right. So you just got to see.
Which that movie got released. I was there opening night. LT got arrested earlier in that week for crack possession. Friday night, the movie comes out, and "Don't Smoke Crack" is in the movie, and it was hysterical because it came topical.
So my thing is, you cannot. I'm gonna have to say this: be that stupid. Then now it brings me to that interview when people was saying, "Well,
did you see it?"
No, I'm talking about the interview he did.
Hue
Jackson's interview. Okay. When he was making the allegation that he was getting paid for losing, and then some people brought up, well, maybe it's because you wasn't a great coach. Mm-hmm. Now I started to bring that into question. Your decision making may not be that great. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why you was losing. Mm. You know, because I never looked at it that way. A coach, you have to protect the whole entire program.
The university.
Yeah.
I'm talking about not just protect your players. Mm-hmm. You need to be protecting every last student that pays admission. Right. Because you're bringing a possible person that can bring harm to those students. Bingo. Now, he looked the other way, so we can't say he was implicated in any kind of sexual allegations. He just looked the other way. However, that speaks to his integrity. Mm-hmm. That speaks to the kind of person you bringing onto your team. Why would you want to bring that to your program? Well, you're putting winning over it.
You put winning over everything. You know, and one thing in our community that we are big on is family, looking after each other, stuff like that. So, unfortunately, I say it like this: you coming into our community. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You come into our family. So when you come into our family, you have to abide by our rules. Yeah. You know, and for the most part, you know, we got a little nuances to that. That's a whole other discussion. But for the most part, we big on family. We big on looking out. And you took the position of, I'm looking at winning over the safety of my players. And you bring that person onto your team.
Safety of my university.
Right, or your university, because anybody was subject to get involved in that sexual allegation, whether you're on the team or not.
Because when me and Nick had this conversation, mm-hmm. I first thought that comes to me.
Matt, that's predominantly white university. That's what PWI stands for.
Yeah. Is that a real thing, or did you just fucking make that up?
No,
that's what they call them, PWI.
I've never heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they call them PWI.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much,
I was trying to figure out what it meant because I'm good with acronyms and making shit up. I'm like, I'm thinking power, because they call it the Power Five, right?
Right, right.
Figure out what the fuck it meant. Oh man, you just opened me to a whole new world.
Stick with us, man. We got some more stuff for you. Go ahead.
Text it. We can't all put it on there.
I was just not a fan of the hire because when I saw the interview.
So I didn't see the interview.
Like if
the interview is fucking cringe.
And Nick, tell him when we were watching that, I'm like,
number one, the girl who's talking to him sounds like Patrick Mahomes. She talks like a Kermit for us, and she repeats the same question 8 different ways. What are you going to do if your players come to you? What would you do if your players come to you? How would you react if your players come to you? Like, she's trying to get him to fuck up and say something that's like bad. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be like, yeah, fuck those girls. I'm just gonna hide it. Like, that's what she wanted, but with
right. No, man, not purely white, predominantly white.
Purely white.
This ain't cocaine. This ain't sugar.
Right, this ain't cane.
This ain't cane. Come on,
I love this fucking show. I really do. I love this. These 4 hours of the week are fucking fantastic, man. I love
this.
Ain't
right.
We
are Tony Montana.
Go ahead, dude.
So, here's my thing with it. right?
Okay.
And I said this to Lamar the other night, Mel. I'm gonna say it to you, and I expect you to agree.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck does Hue Jackson, who with the state of sports right now, and he was just involved in something where coaching positions of prominence are coming up,
right,
and minorities are being labeled as not giving serious consideration to those jobs.
Okay.
How the fuck does this school and Hue Jackson go out and hire a white coach with character issues